Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Cardiff. We've got more WPL action for you as the Cardiff Met Archers take on the Worcester Wolves. Daniel Routledge, delighted to be joined by Miguel Vaquero, the Great Britain coach. An absolute honour to have you alongside. Obviously relatively new into the role as the coach of the GB team. How have you settled into this role?
Well, thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Yeah, everything goes very good. I started last June. Getting used to the role, the environment, the girls. Now we've been working together for almost 1 year, so we are getting close to the moment where we want to be.
And what have you made of the Women's Premier League since you've been here and seen it in action? Because obviously you've coached at a domestic level back in Spain. What have you made of this league?
I think it's a great idea to have this development league for all the girls that want to play wheelchair basketball. Of course, for me as a head coach for the national team, it's always easy to have more girls playing basketball and also harder for them to be in the team. So it's good for the sport in both ways. In Spain we have no development league, we have a mixed league. So, I think it's a great idea. You can see here like 24 girls playing wheelchair basketball plus another 2 teams. So I'm traveling around all the different HPPs during the last 9 months, and they can see that there are a lot of girls that want to play basketball. They are playing basketball. It's good to have them all condensed and can play the same level with the same basketball, with the same, hopefully the same roles. So I think it's very positive.
Well, let's take a look at the standings in the WPL as it is now. We're only a few weeks away from the end of the regular season, and Loughborough still top of the table despite that one defeat that they have. Cardiff and Worcester currently 3rd and 4th, although if Worcester can get a win today, they will move level with the Met Archers. And of course Worcester did beat Cardiff in Cardiff a few weeks ago as the teams try and cement themselves into positions ahead of the playoffs. Obviously if they can finish higher up the standings, they'll avoid playing Loughborough, and Loughborough have proven themselves over the 2 years of the WPL as a really top-end team with some GB internationals in that lineup as well.
Exactly, yeah. I think they've been the last 2 seasons, the last 2 seasons this league have been taking part. They win almost all the games. Just one lost against Cardiff a couple of weeks ago. They have a very solid group for different GB players. Also extra signed with Bo Kramer, the Dutch girl, that's one of the best players in the world. So I think they're a strong group, and but also was very good to see Cardiff perform against them at Loughborough and see how they can keep competing and keep being growing as athletes.
Well, it was indeed a great victory for them in that one. Let's take a look at the remaining schedule. These are the last 4 games of the regular season. All 4 of them will be on BBC Sport for you today. We've got Cardiff against Worcester tomorrow in Loughborough for the showdown between the Lightning and the Phoenix, and then next weekend 2 games again back here in Cardiff for East London's visit, and Worcester with the final home game of the season against the Loughborough Lightning. All 4 of those games, as I say, on BBC Sports, so do tune in for those. Well, earlier I managed to catch up with the coaches to see what their thoughts were ahead of today's game. Well, Tom, obviously the last time you met these, it was a great game for us, maybe not so much for you. What are you talking about in terms of improving to turn that close defeat into a win?
Yeah, I think probably offensively, if you look at the points we scored against Loughborough the following week compared to against Worcester, our defence was pretty consistent. I think it was 37 points conceded at home and 43 away. Worcester averaged pretty much the same points. So we're talking about our offence mostly, like trying to unlock scoring for a few more different players. Obviously we've got some very good scorers, but if we can get a few more points from extra places, if we can add 4 from a couple of different players, then that should hopefully unlock the rest of the offence for the top scorers as well.
And given they struggle to get a big number on the board, if you can get some cheap points in transition from the likes of Leah Evans, that'll certainly give you a boost.
Yeah, we talked about for us that starts with our defence there. If we can play great defence, we know what the rebounding situation is like in here. We saw the 4 Nations recently, like the rebounds go long in can grab those rebounds, and we can get out and, like you say, get those cheap ones the next time that someone takes an outside shot. They've already got 2 layups and they feel great. And when Leah's going in transition, she's arguably the best transition player in the league. So hoping for some of that from her today.
And at the other end of the floor, obviously, Sarah Hope is the focal point of that team. Defensively, you're going to have to do a job on her.
Yeah, and it's a nice battle because she's done it at the level that Jade wants to do it at, and 2 relatively similar players. So we think we've got the size to match up there. Got 3 quite big bigs. So for us, it's making sure that we control Sarah Hope, and then we've got a couple of other players that we don't want to allow the cheap ones, and there are certain players that you're always willing to let score in one sense. So for us, just about making sure we stick to the game plan there and really control who scores for them.
And of course, playoffs around the corner. How do you feel the team's form is going into that?
And it was a bad game at London, and since then we've progressed incredibly. That not only just the win here, the win against Loughborough, some of our losses have been really good performances. The team are really understanding what we want from them now. The style of play is continuing to improve. We're adding extra layers all the time. So I think as we're approaching the playoffs, we've got another home game, and then I think this thing is going quite nicely. And it's just quite exciting to have the team sort of getting better as the season goes on, as you always hope.
Good luck in the game today.
Nice one. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Cheers. Well, Simon, obviously you played these a few weeks ago, a cracking game and a victory for you. You'll be hoping for something similar today?
Yeah, I think so. I think hopefully that confidence from that win will permeate through to this game. Different place, obviously that was at home, this is away. Traditionally, we haven't played particularly well here, so an opportunity to right those wrongs. But yeah, the confidence from a victory against this team hopefully stands in good stead today.
And offense is the challenge, trying to get a big enough number on the board for you guys.
Yeah, we know offense is always challenging. Scoring. We've been better the last couple of games to creating the right shots, but it's about shooting percentage, making the right shots. But yeah, really a game in and around the 40s is sort of where we're at. We want to try and put the shot to the 50s. We know that if Cardiff get going today with the weapons they have, with Leah Evans and particularly Jade Atkin, Sam Hill as well, potentially Katie Morrow, then they have the ability to score. So defensively, we've got to do what we know we can do, and traditionally we are one of the stronger teams in that department. But yeah, converting the never easy looks. There's never any easy look, but converting the chances that we create for ourselves and just rewarding ourselves for a lot of the hard work. A lot of time we do a lot of the good stuff, we just then don't reward ourselves, and that's always been a focus for us.
And defensively, you mentioned some of their big scorers, but Evans as well in transition. They're not a team you want to get breaking.
No, Leah, very quick up and down the floor, very tends to leak a bit, tends to get out, wants to get out, and they utilise their rebounding prowess. And Leah, gets out, so we know that that's a threat. We've seen it before. It's going to be nothing new. It's not a tactic we haven't seen before. So I reiterate to the ladies about making sure that we're smart on that. There's different things we can do. But Leah is a confidence player. She'll get going, she'll hit 1, she'll hit 2, and all of a sudden she'll be on 10 points before we know it. So we've got to stop her. And then the other, inside the keys, Jade and Sam and Katie, 3 of the bigger players in the league, really strong. But to stop them, we have to stop the other players on the floor, and too much focus on the big means the lows can do their job. So it's going to take a team effort, but we know we've done it before, and we just got to show we can do it again.
Good luck in the game.
Thank you.
Well, it will be interesting to see the adjustments that the 2 coaches make from that previous meeting. It very much went at the tempo and at the pace of the Worcester Wolves on that occasion, and Cardiff here will be looking to get some of their big scorers going, and they have got a big lineup. You've got the likes of Jade Atkin, Katie Morrow can come in and put up some big points as well, and they've got the pace of Leah Evans in transition. If they can get the scoreboard ticking, that will really favour Cardiff.
Yes, they have been running this lineup for all the season. Leah Evans is also a big threat in transition and in the middle, attacking and faking, attacking in the middle, scoring easy layups in the paint. Of course, you have Katie Morrow back to play wheelchair basketball in a high level. She plays very good against Loughborough, looking for these mismatch shots in the baselines. I see always a very talented player, and Jade scoring a lot of points each game, and also be a big threat on defense, be able to balance both sides of the game.
Well, let's take a look at the Worcester Wolves lineup, and whenever we look at the Wolves, we think instantly of the former GB player Sarah Hope, their leading scorer, averaging 13 points a game. But for them to win, they need big games from other players, players like Jade Lachlan, Kayla Bell, a 1.5, who contributes really well for this team. It really has to be a cohesive unit for Wolves to win the game.
Yes, Sarah is the biggest threat for this team in terms of points, but there are more new girls, more young girls that can support her and help the team to score more points. We have Kaylee English, we have Kayla Bell as a 1.5. She was the MVP a couple of years ago, doing a very good basketball, doing very good in the GB camps. Also, you have Nif Horan, very good three-pointer, can shoot from outside from the free throw area, and also for 45. Jade Lachlan as well, very strong three-pointers, can do a very good job, and as well Ellen Fraser, like young player, but yeah, a lot of development for her in the last season.
And that's one of the good things that we've seen about this league since it started last year, is it is given some of the young players the opportunity to go up against international or play alongside international caliber players and see where the level is and the gap that they have to breach.
Of course, it's like for us, it needs to be a development league. Of course, every team and every player and every coach want to win, but the main point for this league is to be sure that we compete in the international level in some point, and they need to know where the international standard is, the national standard, and where they are, and try to fill this gap with the HPP coaches and the national team camps and one-day camps.
Well, the two teams making their way out onto court ahead of this exciting game. The two teams a few weeks ago at the University of Worcester went right down to the final couple of plays, and Worcester getting their first win of the season in dramatic style, and there really was nothing between them from opening tip to final buzzer. It was almost basket for basket. We'll sign up for a bit more of the same here today, I'm sure. And it's Hope and Atkin at the middle. Thumbs up from the referee, and we're good to go here at the Archers Arena. And it's tipped straight down in to the hands of Bell, and the first possession for the Wolves. And they've lost Sarah Hope. That's a dangerous thing to do. Her first shot falls a little short. Here comes Evans, looking for some room down the lane. Nowhere to go. Antonazi into the starting lineup. Bit of a mismatch in size down in the low post, and the first point's on the board for Hill. It's a good attack of the size mismatch there.
Yeah, Sammy's doing a great job. A big development during all the season, looking for these mismatch shots, and now she got a very easy shot for her, but very difficult.
Here's Jade Lachlan. Shot is off the rim, and this is where the Archers can be dangerous in transition. Hill squares up. Not quite the score. They managed to recover there, Worcester.
Yeah, Cardiff is trying to create this transition every single time with Lee Evans and Sam at the moment. And yeah, it's going to be tough for Worcester to be sure that they can work on her safety and reduce the number of shots they're going to score in transition.
Hope in the key, can't score over Atkin. And here comes Jade Atkin the other way. Del Atkin setting the screen. It's coming back to Jade Atkin in the corner. Looking at the shot clock getting low here.
Defense.
Off the side of the board, and the rebound to Hope. Lachlan in transition. Looking for options. Not a lot going on here for Worcester. It's across to Hope, late in the shot clock. Needs to go up. off the mark. Kind of got a bit static there, the Worcester offence.
Yes, it's interesting to see in all the sports, but more even in wheelchair basketball, the off-ball work they are doing. All the low pointers, for example, in Worcester, Kaylee English, Kayla Bell, all these crosses they are creating. I think it can be one of the key points for them to create these advantages the same way that Ellen Fraser is creating now. This man out and this transition is gonna make them easier to score and not playing so static, because sometimes it's hard, as for example right now.
Well, good ball movement, and Kayla Bell gets the first points on the board for Worcester. They were able to find the spare player there. Evans driving to the free throw line, gets it to Hill. Nice pass inside to Atkin, under pressure from behind, just couldn't quite get that to go, but she will shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, it's interesting to see.
Oh, actually foul caught on the floor, so it'll be an end line ball. Evans basically given the shot, and not quite, but the rebound falls into the hands of Hope.
Yeah, Worcester's defense is very close at the moment, allowed every single open shot, and well, Cardiff is trying to looking for create more in the pick and roll and allow more advantage on the weak side, because in the beginning they were playing more static, no? Sam and Jay, they were playing different sides with one pointer each one, and try to create these mismatch shots. So now they change a little bit in offense and try to create something else.
And Jade Atkin brings it forward for the Archers, round the screen from Evans. Has a look at the basket, hands it off to Hill instead, squares up, fouls called. I think it's before the shot. It's number 6 of Bell that's shown to the table, and it is a foul on the floor, so it'll be an end line ball. Evans to inbound. Cross-court pass, well taken by Hill. Overcooked the shot though, and Fraser with the rebound. That was a hard hit to the floor there. There wasn't quite the room between Hope and Bell for Hill. Gets herself back up, and to compound things, she got called for a foul in there as well.
Yeah, and again we can see Kayla Bell and Jet Locklin creating man out over Jade Atkins here, and I think it's key for them to attack in transition with one big less. Now Cardiff is playing with 2 bigs, so try to get one big out. It's going to be important for them to score. Sarah Hope in transition, as we see now, attacking weak side, or Helen Fraser open shot.
Well, it is one of the key differences between the running game and the wheelchair game, how important defensively it is just to keep your opponent down the other end of the floor. As Evans drives in, might have been a bit of contact on that shot, but another rebound for Hope.
Yeah, and wheelchair basketball, as you say, it's important that taking in consideration the classification system this game have, and what means in terms of advantages often on defense related with the size of the player. So that's why it's important to get this advantage situation, creating man outs and attacking in transition. That's the key for this game.
Well, Bell with the open shot once again, this time knocks it down through the contact. So a bonus free throw coming if you are new to wheelchair basketball. Each of the players are given a classification based on their disability. The higher the number tend to be the players who are taller, sit higher up in the chair. It's the easiest way to sort of spot. They're also the ones who tend to score more of the points, because it's more difficult for the low pointers. But when you get a 1.5 making a 3-point play for that, that's a real boost for the offense.
Absolutely, it's harder, more difficult than the running game, because here obviously you cannot jump or you can go higher. So this situation when they need to look for mismatch is even harder for the defense and easier for the offense.
Hope quickly down court, passes it off to Bell again. Hope at the top of the key. Nice work with Lachlan. Just overcooked the layup.
Worcester is playing different than the other games. Like Sarah Hope is playing in the middle. Normally see try to play mismatch, the same thing that Cardiff is doing. But now they change a little bit the style and offense, and it's working pretty good.
And they've crashed the boards really well here in the early stages, not giving up any offensive rebounds. Hope trapped in the backcourt, so Lachlan's waiting for a moment. Inside to Fraser, good cut to the basket. Hope with the offensive rebound, and she doesn't miss from there. Again, another good offense from the Wolves. They've started this game really well.
Yeah, the last 3 offenses, they scored 2 of them and won like 5 points in 3 attacks. It's got good average.
Evans looking for options. Over to Jade Atkin. Jade Atkin getting into the key. Tough shot. Evans in there trying to get an offensive rebound, but it's deflected away. And the Wolves once again come up with it. Well, I don't think Fraser was expecting that.
Yeah. Aggressive defense by Cardiff.
Nice pass, and Hill's there to lay that one in for 2 and cut it to a 1-point gain. Well, the first change has been a frenetic first quarter. And barely any stoppages in the game as we look back at that from Hill. First changes being made by Coach Fisher.
Yeah, Simon was trying to reinforce to Helen the idea of create crosses on offense, not just try to go in a straight line for defense to offense, try to create crosses and create disadvantages. And here, a very good shot by Neve.
Well, Neve Horan didn't take any time, did she? First touch of the ball, and the points are on the board. Great play with Atkin and Evans, but Evans can't convert. Fraser. Bell trying to free some room for Fraser. Shots away. Bell with the offensive rebound as well. Out to Yearon. Nice shot from the top of the key. All from some great work from Bell there. First of all, to create the shot and then get the offensive rebound.
Yeah, we saw here the situation with the basketball. One of the players is in the floor, and the game keep running. They playing 5 versus 4, and in this situation it's hard to defense. And yeah, Worcester are doing very good, trying to use all the possibilities, all the advantages Cardiff is giving to them at the minute. A good pass inside.
And there's Atkin. She's tough to stop. You've got to keep her out of the key, really. If she gets the ball there, it's almost an automatic 2.
It's hard to defend Jade in this situation. She's inside the key. She's very big, and she's very good shooting inside the key. So the same thing like Sarah Hope is trying to do right now.
Well, they've crowded Hope out a little bit, and she's had to come back out. Here's Fraser. Squares up. Just doesn't quite get the bounce of the ball there. Evans weaving down the lane, trying to spin one up off the glass, but rattles out. Foul called off the ball as Evans is knocked to the floor by Yearon.
Leah is doing a good job attacking the middle, faking and get this kind of crossover in the middle she's doing for all the season. Now she is missing these shots, but they are very interesting to see these kind of skills here in the game.
Well, ball in the front court for Cardiff, so they'll only get 14 seconds to work with here. Foul called there on the shot. Jay Lachlan has a look of bemusement as it goes against her, but it will send Katie Morrow to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Yeah, the rules are the same one than in the running game. In this kind of fouls, they have 2 free throws, key area in wheelchair basketball and all the different basketballs.
Well, Katie Morrow shooting 30% from the free throw line this season, knocks the first one down. Second is short, but Atkin is there for the offensive rebound and the putback. Great work, reverse 3-point play there with the 2 on the rebound. Game is level at 11 with a minute to go in the opening quarter here. Lachlan inside to Horan from close range, can't convert. Evans quickly down to Morrow, little fadeaway doesn't go. Horan with the lane to the basket, too strong off the glass, but Hope is there, and Hope is fouled. She will shoot 2.
Also creating better crosses and offense, arriving in transition almost every single time, and yeah, maybe Cardiff is doing this less often than they should, so that's why they're playing 5-on-5, and they are trying to find advantages in mismatch shots close to the key. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they can balance both situations.
Hope knocks down the front end of 2 free throws here. 20 seconds or so to go in this opening quarter. 2 for 2. Puts her team back in front. Cardiff with a chance to run this one down to the buzzer. Evans across to Atkins, nice extra pass, and it's Adele Atkin underneath for 2.
Very good combination between both sisters.
Well, that's a perfect way to end the first quarter for the Cardiff Met Archers with a nice easy score at the end of it, but 13 points apiece through the first quarter. There hasn't really been much separating these two teams so far. It's very much similar to the first.
Game to another, and as you say, it's interesting to see how they improve different skills from one to another. We say in the beginning that Worcester needs more help from the rest of the players, not just from Sarah Hope. And I think they are doing. Ellen, Neve, Kayla, they are doing very good. Yeah, and Cardiff is trying to find the key points they have with Leah, Jade, Sam. So I think it's going to be interesting second quarter.
The other thing about Worcester is we've talked about how maybe they don't have as many offensive weapons, but what they have done defensively, they've kept Cardiff to 1 shot each time. They've done a really good job of limiting the offensive rebounds and making sure they come up with the ball, which A, keeps them to 1 defensive possession, but also gives them the opportunity to try and get out in transition.
Yes, absolutely. Try to reduce the number of points in the paint both teams are going to receive during the game. That's very important, because in this situation you give the offense farther away situation, farther away spots, and it's what we want. Coaches try to allow the shots we want for another team, and in this situation Worcester have very clear game plan, allowed every single open shot but nothing inside the key.
Well, about to get things back underway here at Archers Arena. And it's Worcester with the possession arrow, who will start the second quarter with the ball. Jade Loughlin looking to inbound. Bell. Hope needed a friendly bounce, but it drops in. Worcester back in front.
We have on court Levy from Cardiff, Levy Phillips, 3-5 with a lot of potential, as she's playing her first minutes in the game.
And gets her first assist in the game with a nice pass to Morrow for 2. Horan creates room for an open shot, but it doesn't go. Morrow stopped at half court by Hope. Atkin working with Phillips, trying to find some room along the baseline. Oh, it's just through the hands of Adele Atkin and out of bounds.
Worcester is keeping the same game plan, try to deny any single opportunity inside the key and allow situations out of the key. So let's see if Cardiff can find an alternative to try to attack this situation.
Loughlin. Room along the baseline. She can go all the way to the basket here. Just not enough on that layup. I think she was slightly surprised by the space she had along the baseline.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know what's easier, to have shot under pressure or just wide open.
Here's Ella Archer. Back to Adele Atkin and now Jade Atkin. 5 on the shot clock. Gets it away. It's just a little short. Horan with the defensive rebound.
Long shot, and after pressure with the shot clock running, hard shot to score.
Worcester, by contrast, getting quickly down the court, but still unable to score. We're tied at 15, 2 minutes into the second quarter. Morrow back to Archer. Atkin, again late in the shot clock from the elbow. That's a good outlet. Horan down court, creates room for the lay-in. That's excellent from the Wolves.
Yeah, good transition. I think it was good defense, long pass. Even Jake tried to defend this. This action was too late.
Morrow a little flat on that shot. Rebound for Horan. Again, the Wolves looking to go at pace. Again, it's 5 on 4. And Horan all the way to the basket. And no surprise to see Coach Guntrip calling for a timeout here. It's only a 4-point game, but the momentum of the game, you feel, is currently with Worcester.
Yeah, for the last three minutes, Cardiff having the opportunity to score. Worcester doing a very good job creating crosses and advantages. Not just having a very effective shots, also very easy shots created by the scorers, and also for the one-pointers and low-pointers doing a very good job of the ball. And on defense, they keep the same game plan they start from the beginning, trying to deny easy shots close to the key and allowed open spots for Jade or Katie Morrow in this case.
Yeah, as you say, what they have done is just force them out a little bit. It can only be a foot or 2 or 3 feet even further back from their comfortable spot, make it a little bit more difficult. And because they've got the rebounds on almost every occasion, they're able to break in transition. And when you don't score a lot of points, those cheap ones you can get in transition, those fast break layups, sure help the scoreboard tick over.
Absolutely, you can be a very good player, but always you're gonna score more close to the basket than far away from the basket. Very simple idea, but in the end, what coaches want, we want is to create like easy shots, and for any single player, the closest spot to the key is gonna be the easiest shot from them. So it's something that Worcester is doing very good, and let's see how Cardiff react in this offense.
Well, 7 of Worcester's 19 points have come in the fast break, so a third of their offense when the defense isn't back. That's the best way to do it if you can. Here's Morrow kicking it back out again late in the shot clock. Yeah. Well, good defense, but better offense on that occasion.
Very good ball movement. It was not just one pass and shot. They moved the ball a little bit more, so they asked the defense to react, and it was a very good shot and good pass from Levy.
Here's Horan, who certainly has been impactful since she's come onto court. 8 points in 7 minutes for Niamh Horan.
Yeah, 6 points in a row, scoring a very hard, difficult basket, mismatch with contact. Good job by Niamh.
Well, that pass from Phillips was when Atkin wasn't looking. It goes all the way out of bounds. Simon Fisher will be pleased because his team had the momentum going into that timeout. They seem to have kept it coming out of the timeout as well.
Yeah, mistake in the past, but they need to accept it's a development process where they are. This thing can happen. The important thing is how they're gonna react to the next offense.
Loughlin from the foul line. Front rim on that one. Long rebound is grabbed by Morrow. Jade Atkin getting into the key, and they haven't had much of that, but in the transition she's able to get into a good spot. Toes bringing it forward. Well, that wasn't intended for Loughlin, but it ended up in her hands. Fraser, 4 seconds to work with. It's a bit low, it needs to go up, and that'll be a shot clock violation, and perhaps Fraser needed to take that shot rather than make the extra pass there.
Good defense by Cardiff, and subs again in Cardiff. Rebecca is on court.
Ganley and for Libby Phillips. And our first job will be bring the ball forward for a team midway through the second quarter, trailing by 2. Morrow, great pass. Not an easy one to find there, but got it right on the money to Jade Atkin. Dowd as well. Massive size differential there between Archer and Hope.
Now Worcester is trying to find Sarah Hope in the mismatch in the baseline with this lineup with 3 3-pointers, 1-pointer and Sarah, and they have new players in the game. Yes, but they have the same idea. 4 bigs on court, try to find a mismatch option.
Horan brings it forward. Hope inside, and that was great work. You couldn't see it on screen, but Toes had blocked off Atkin at the other end, which took up massive size out of the middle of that Archers defense to make it easy for Hope. It's It's one of those, it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but you know the coaches spot those things. In and out for Morrow. Nice pass, Horan down the lane. Just doesn't go for her. She was fouled though, so it will be 2 free throws. Those are the ones as a player you just think, oh, I should be going to the free throw line for 1 shot, not 2 here.
Yeah, it's always hard to referee these kind of actions, and yeah, you always try to look for the and one in this situation.
Well, timeout called by Cardiff, still trailing by 2. I would say, from Cardiff's point of view, it feels like, well, we played 16.5 minutes or so. It feels like Worcester have had the better of those 16.5 minutes, but on the scoreboard, there's only 2 points separating the teams. So Cardiff will be saying, we'll get our momentum, we'll get the shift towards us, and then we're doing all right, only down 2 at this stage.
Yeah, they are, you said, Worcester doing a good job. Maybe creating better advantages than Cardiff, but the Cardiff being very effective, trying to find these mismatch shots in the baseline from the 8, try to play with 2 very big players, try to find these options. Sometimes it's hard to switch or adjust. And well, also both teams are rotating a lot. I think 7 or 8 players from Cardiff being on court at the, so far, and the same thing from Worcester. So it's good to see different players try to give them opportunity to play basketball and to play basketball in this level.
Well, last action before that timeout was the foul. So Eve Horan, who's already got 8 points to her name, will try and make that 9 and 10 here from the free throw line. Off the mark on the first. 3 for 10 from the free throw line so far this season. The second one bounces down into the hands of Ganley. Space for Morrow, quickly closed out by Hope. Oh, how unlucky is that?
Very good job from Rebecca trying to create a man out, and that action create a open shot for.
And again, they're quick down court, aren't they? And Ganley is it's Horan on the end of it for 2, and she's into double figures now. Ganley. Cross court to Atkin, who gets the shot away before Hope can provide the help. Just a little chair issue brings the game to a halt for a second. As Morrow sorts that out. You can see she squares up, Hope coming, trying to get a hand in her face, but not enough to put her off.
Yeah, good effort by Katie. Try to escape from the man out and try to arrive to defense as fast as she can.
Here's Hope. All string for Sarah Hope. 10 points now for her. Almost at a double-double before half-time. Just another standard performance really for her.
She has a lot of experience, and she can take a lot of different kind of shots. She scored from a couple of actions ago in a mismatch in the baseline, now opening 45 in the beginning of the game, in transition in the middle of the key. So she has a lot of experience, a lot of skills.
Certainly does. Worcester leading by 4. Here is Hope again inside. Well, a little pressure from behind made that a more difficult shot than she would have liked. Ganley. 3-second violation is the call. I think Archer got caught with her wheels in the key there. Just over a minute to go here in the first half. Worcester with the edge. Warren has been scoring well. Doesn't knock that one down. A rare miss from her. Ganley at the elbow. All string for Becky Ganley.
Good shot by Rebecca. Open shot in the top. Difficult shot.
Hard as well. Back to Horan, just inside the free throw line, and she continues to pile on the points. 12 first half points for her.
Great performance by Neve. In the second quarter, she scored more than a half the point of her team, so good job.
The last few seconds here in the first half. There's a score there from Atkin. There might not quite be enough time here for Archers to get down court, and the half-time buzzer goes, and that will bring to an end a very tight first half here. There's been almost nothing between these two teams. There's only 2 points separate them at the half, but neither team has led by more than 2 shots. 5 points the biggest lead either way, and this one really is set up for a very good second half coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. The tight game. Both teams trying to find all the positive areas they can put on the court. Transition crosses by Worcester, try to find Sarah Hope in different spots, as I mentioned before. As well, very good job by Neve scoring open shots after contact. Yeah, that's great to see this kind of basketball, and as well good level of scoring and basketball by Cardiff. Fine mismatch from Jade, and also trying to create this defense, increasing the contact. I think is a good basketball for both teams.
So if you were on the Cardiff side of the ball, what would you be looking to do differently in the second half offensively to try and get the scoreboard ticking a bit more?
Maybe try to add to the game this transition game, as I mentioned before. Just because the very basic fundamental for this sport, if you create transition and you stop chairs, in the end you're going to attack in advantage. So if they try to do it better and they try to cross more, not just try to go in a straight line, it's going to be easier for the big players, and also for the low pointers try to create these advantages. I think it's going to be a good thing to add.
For Worcester, Horan's been absolutely sensational for them. Off the bench with 12 points, and quite often they need that complementary scorer to go alongside Hope, and well, Horan's outscored Hope in the first half, which is a great thing to see.
Yeah, now let's see how Cardiff react to this situation with Neve and Sarah Hope. Let's see how they react, and after that they need to understand and read the game and see if they can keep shooting and scoring, or they have advantages to create because the defenders are trying to stop them, and they can find easier advantages for another Worcester players. Well,
there was only a couple of baskets between them when they met a few weeks ago at the University of Worcester Arena, and there's only one score between the two sides here in the first half at Archers Arena. And as I say, we had a dramatic finish then. We look well on course for a dramatic finish here as well. 27-22 the score. Well, before the game I managed to catch up with a couple of players to see how things are going. Jade Loughlin and first Becky Ganley. Well, Becky, almost at the end of the season now, how do you feel the team has developed as a group from the beginning to now?
I think we're really coming on together. We're spending a lot more time together. Training's going solid, and I think last year, with it being an introduction into the season and to the whole WPL system, this year we've cemented it a lot better, and we're growing together. And I think as it shows with our win against Loughborough, I think that we're all coming together and we're feeling happier as a team.
Yeah, psychologically for the team, what did that win do for you?
I think it gave us a real burst of energy. I think, you'd like to think we'd win every game within the season, but you never know how it's going to turn out. And I think we had a tough loss against Worcester, and then to go out against Loughborough, it was great to have a win.
Yeah, that was a great game against Worcester. Obviously, they came out on the winning side of it, but a little chance for some revenge today.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be great to have another win against them today.
And going up against them, where do you feel you guys match up well?
I think we match up well with our bigs. I think, having Sam and Jade really gives us some height. I think that's really helpful for us. And we've got some great lows who are really good at doing their roles with the picking and curling for us to be able to get the big girls in. So that's great for us. I think going against Sarah and the likes of Kayla Bell, I think it'll be interesting to see, but I think we've got a good edge.
And from your own point of view, you mentioned this is the second year of the WPL. How do you think you've developed as a player, and how do you feel the league has developed over the 2 years?
I think for me, I've developed more confidence. I think last year, with it being the first season, it was really new. I don't think any of us really knew how to handle with that in a sense, because it hadn't been done. I think this year, coming into it, feeling more settled into it now, I think gives us more confidence as a team, really.
Good luck in the game today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, Jade, we're almost at that time of year where playoffs come around. How do you feel the team is in terms of cohesion and ready for the post-season?
We've been training all together quite a fair bit, and we've really been trying to do our job. We've grown as a team through thick and thin, really. So we're a close-knit team, and we will always be a close-knit team.
Talk to us a little bit about the development of the team from the start of the season now to near the end of it.
So we've had a few newcomers compared to last season, and they've come in and they've really, really excelled to expectations. There's never ever a point in time where no one ever plays minutes. We're quite a good team where we can rotate all of our bench and everybody comes on and does what they need to do when they need to do it.
And obviously positive memories from playing Cardiff after that last meeting against them. We could do with a bit more drama like that today.
I'm sure between the two teams we can do that for sure. We're both wanting the win, and coming away with a win today just puts us in a good stead for playoffs.
Yeah, how important psychologically is it now that you'll get into that top form ahead of the postseason?
Very big. Us winning today might just take off Cardiff a little bit, be like, what's going on, and it'll give us a good stead going into playoffs to face them in the third and fourth. If that's how the season plans out, I'm pretty sure that's how it will be, but yeah.
And what about yourself? How do you think you've developed as the season's gone on?
Oh, I don't really judge myself. I always say that I've always been really crap, or I've done something different or stuff like that. I've always done that, but from what the players have said, I've come on leaps and bounds, being that ball handler, being that person, being that 3.0 player, on trying to do everything on the court, so which is good to hear.
Yeah. Well, I've certainly enjoyed watching you. Good luck in the game today.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Well, fantastic to hear from them, and it's fantastic for me to have Miguel alongside us here, because it's a big summer coming up for Great Britain. A couple of important tournaments, to say the least, on the horizon. How has training camp been going? How are the plans? What do you think the team is looking like a few months out from these big tournaments?
As you say, we have a big summer ahead. We have the World Championship in 1 month, and then European Championship in 2 months. So both tournaments are gonna help us to be classified for Paris. It's the big challenge for us in the next summer. We started this process last June when I started being a head coach for the national team. We have been doing around 15 camps since last June. good job from all the players. More than 36 players have been in the camp, so trying to find give more people around the program to be sure that we can find the best players to be in both competitions. So the team looks good. We have a very interesting mix between senior players and young players. As you can see in all the WPL games, the junior players are doing a very good job. Every single time they're coming to the camps, they're making it harder for the seniors one. So exactly what you want, when you're in the team. Try to push each other to be the best team and the best performance we can in the competitions we have ahead.
I mean, we've seen GB on the international stage, both in the Europeans and the Worlds that you're playing this year, and obviously the Paralympics not too far away. Coming in from the outside, what have you made of the talent pool of British players?
It's amazing to see how many players there are in the country. As I mentioned to you just a couple of minutes ago, I'm traveling around the country, around the different HPPs, so you can see how many players we have in this country. Like, of course, WPL, but also men for different ages, and they can be selected for the under 23 as well. So under 23 and under 25 in this country, they have a lot of big group of players that can be selected for the new events that are coming. Also in October is going to be the under 25 World Championship in Thailand. So there are a big group to keep that are going to be working during the summer to be sure that we arrive in the end of the summer with a good mix between senior players that we're going to be in the international competitions, and young players. Some of them are going to be with us in the senior group, and some others are going to be training to make the under 25 national team.
And looking at it, you've obviously got two major tournaments virtually back to back. As a coach, how do you go into a summer where you've got these two huge tournaments on the horizon?
It's key for us during these 3 months we have ahead to be sure that all the players are healthy. So during the last 9 months we were working every month, having different training camps to be sure that we can develop all the skills that we think the girls need to perform in the high environment and international competitions. And now it's time to be sure that we can mix all together, because some of the players that are playing abroad, some of them are playing in Spain, and others they are playing in USA. So when they are coming back in 2 weeks, we're going to start a more centralized program, having 3 training camps back to back, so 3 weeks back to back basically, just off during the weekends, to be sure that we can arrive with a very good synchronize between the players before the competition. It's going to be the first one, the World Championship is going to be one of the toughest World Championships, I think, in the last year. A lot of different teams, they are growing a lot in the last year. We could see in the Paralympics the last year. So for us, it's going to be a good challenge, but a challenge that we want to accept, and we are working to do it in our best.
And obviously, everybody at home will be hoping that Great Britain can do really well on that stage. How confident are you going into that World Championship that we will be right at top performance?
How I face all this competition is trying to need to think you're gonna win all the single games and all the single competition. This is not need to be an extra pressure for the players. It need to be something that you're working for that. So, and then the competition is gonna let you know where you are or what do you need to improve for the next one. It can be next game or next competition. But the most important is to arrive with the mentality and with the confidence that you'll be working very good during all the year. In the HPPs, of course, in the camps we have in the development camps we are creating. That's all we are doing for a reason, is to go and do our best in the major competition. So I expect to perform very good. We know our group, and after that, depends on how we perform in this group, we will know who is going to be our rival in quarterfinals and semi-finals and hopefully final.
And as a coach, how do you balance the here and the now, the wanting to win this summer versus the slightly longer term, looking forward to the next Paralympics in Paris?
Yeah, we are working very good, I think, in this area, because we know that even this summer we have the World Champions, and it's gonna let us know how many spots we have in the European Championship to get the classification of the ticket to Paris next year. We know that this is not the end of our path. We know that next year we have the Paralympics in front. We need to know that a lot of girls have been in the program and they are performing very good, but we want to also to develop players to be sure that after Paris we have a strong group to go to LA, and you can see that here there are a lot of every single players are coming in the court can be a potential selected player for the next competition.
Because that's always the challenge for any international coaches. You're judged by wins and losses right now, but also in 4 years' time, in 8 years' time, the whole program needs to know that the next generation is going to be ready to win as well.
Absolutely. Well, I think you as a coach always need to try to win and to do your best, but also you need to judge yourself for two areas. One lose or win, but the second one, how you are doing all the process to arrive to this moment. So both are very important for me. We need to be sure that we have a very strong under 25 to be sure that after Paris we have more team and we continue the process. But of course, as you said, we need to get the classification to Paris. So this mix between young players and senior players are the key. We are working on that. Now we have like around 20-21 players are more consistently in the camps. Even we have more, I think around 30 players in the camps since the last June. So we have a more consistent group of 21 players. More than the 50% of them they are juniors. I consider junior under 25 players. So hopefully that works very good in the next competition, and we are looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, we are very excited, and we wish you all the very best for the summer ahead, and indeed beyond that. But we'll turn our focus back to this game now as we get ready to get the second half underway. It is the Archers who have the first possession of the game, trailing by just the 2 points. And Ganley has it inside. Atkin to Atkin. I don't think Adele was quite expecting that from Jade. And there's going to be a 3-second violation as a result, because Jade couldn't get herself back out of the key. And sometimes you say that's, well, you need to work that out, but actually that's good defense. They blocked her in the key knowing the 3-second violation was coming.
Exactly. Adele was trying to seal Jade inside the key. They trapped Jade, so she passed to Adele, and she was trying to go out of the key, but she was not. She hasn't the full chair out of the key, so that's why they called 3 seconds.
Morrow under pressure. Lachlan almost stole that away. Here's Adele Atkin. Back to Katie Morrow. Morrow trying to find room along the baseline. Hand of hope in her face and off the mark.
Very good crossover for Katie Morrow attacking Sarah Hope.
Drive all the way to the basket from Warren, who started the second half having come off the bench in the first so successfully. And still we're looking for the first score of the second half. Cross-court pass to Ganley. 5 on the shot clock. Ganley needs to get it away. Morrow has to heave. She can't get it off in time. And a shot clock violation against the Archers. Horan almost losing her balance and does lose the ball as a result of that.
Yeah, it's good contact by Cardiff, trying to deny these passes. It's also on defense is half technique, half intensity, and now they put the intensity. Good shot now.
Morrow off the mark though. Still we await the first score. Horan out, stopped by Ganley at mid-court. Horan into the key, drops it off. Off the mark from Jade Loughlin. Morrow inside, good early positioning. A little crowded out there. It's not an easy shot to get away from Jade Atkin. Wolves can't come away with it and turn the ball over.
Now Cardiff changed a little bit the offense. Rebecca playing pick and roll with Jade in one side and Katie in the weak side. Try to create a little bit more advantages like they did in the first quarter with Leah Evans.
Nice fast break. Oh, not this time from Horan. It's good work from Bell to create the opportunity. Oof. That's, I think, a backcourt violation. It came off the chair of Ganley right into the face of Adele Atkins. She would have felt that one for sure. See, she's going for the fast break and not expecting the ball to come back and just smack her right in the nose.
Cardiff is back with a starting five.
Loughlin. Well, that pass is well out of the reach of Hope and out of bounds. Well, points a little harder to come by here in the second half than they were in the first. 3.5 minutes in, we're still yet to give the scoreboard operator anything to do. And that remains the case. Full court pressure from the Archers. It's across to Hope.
Now good press by Cardiff. Try to reduce the number of seconds Worcester have in the offense court.
And they've done that, but Horan gets it away just in time.
And good job by Adele Atkins creating these crosses that we mentioned in the halftime. Try to get these advantages. And here you can see that they have already won.
Evans, top of the key, can't quite get that over the hand of Sarah Hope. It's deflected out, and Simon Fisher is going to call a timeout here for the Worcester Wolves to talk things over. But both coaches will be going, we've done all right defensively in this third quarter. We might need a little bit more at the offensive end with no points on the board in like 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, they increased, both teams increased the contact on defense. They keep the same plan, Worcester, the same plan, try to jump just or try to deny the mismatch from Jade Atkins and try to accept or allow all the different shots for another spots, but nothing inside the key. And Cardiff tried to push a little bit more on defense, creating this press situation that we see in the end of before this timeout. I think it's appropriate to try to increase more, doing more the defense. And now the important thing is how they're gonna be able to balance this intensity or this energy they're gonna put on court from defense to be sure that on offense they can keep the very good scoring that we have in the halftime, like 30 points. It's very good. It's all right.
Well, it doesn't feel like we're going to get that in the second half at this moment in time, but we will see. Can either of these teams catch fire? It's Cardiff ball from the end. They've only got 7 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Here's Neve Watson. Does Evans see the shot clock? It's into Hill, just away in time. It doesn't go though.
Yeah, Cardiff is still pressing the ball and creating a more aggressive defense.
Loughlin's had to work hard there, and in the end they've turned the ball over. Evans from the free throw line, off the mark. And that one won't go in. Still we await the first score of the second half. Well, a chance here, 3-on-1. Horan round a great screen from Bell, misses though, and stolen away. Good work from Hill to steal that from Hope.
Yeah, very good defense, very good effort by Sam. Even she received this man out situation, she arrived on offense, and now hopefully have a very good open shot inside the key. And yeah, Cardiff increased the contact, and you see that also Worcester is struggling a little bit more to score that easy shot that they have in the first half.
Well, again, that pressure has left them late in the shot clock. Horan under pressure. That one still doesn't drop. Well, the scoreboard operator's got the easiest job in the second half.
Good pass.
But broken up.
Pity that, yeah, good fake by Leah. Now up and down game now.
Yeah. Here's Hope driving through, setting herself up. Oh, and even she can't score. Hill is a little short on that one. Watson with the rebound. Here's Jade Atkin. And finally, it's taken 7 minutes, but the scoreboard ticks for the first time in the second half.
Good press, good defense.
Well, they don't get the ball over the halfway line within 8 seconds, so that is a violation. And this press from Cardiff has really caused Worcester problems here in the third quarter.
Yeah, you can see how they're struggling to pass the ball just to the offense court, and see how hard it is them after they receive this press try to be effective on the opening shots. So there are a couple of strategies to reduce the number of points a team can score. One can be aggressive on the half court, or the second one be aggressive on full court, and now Cardiff decide to be aggressive in full court, getting this press of Worcester.
It's certainly been effective. Antonazi shot was off the mark. And again here, even on a missed shot, they're making it difficult to get across mid-court. Oh, Bell's dropped the ball. Morra gets to it first. There's Evans out in front. We haven't seen much of Leah Evans in the open court, but that's very much a strength of her game.
A lot of very good skills in the last play. Very, very long pass, pocket in Morro, and brilliant a spin shot from Leah.
Well, almost 8 minutes gone in the third quarter, and there's only 4 points on the board in the period, all of them for Cardiff, and Simon Fisher forced into calling a timeout yet again, his second timeout of this second half. No coach really wants to burn 2 in the third quarter unless he has to, but he's got to find some way for his team to deal with this press and get themselves into the half court before they even start thinking about scoring.
Of course, you always want to keep at least 2 timeouts for the fourth quarter, because more in this kind of game, what you see is going to be, it's gonna be easy to win for any of the both teams. But now they are receiving a very good press by Cardiff, so they need to try to find different solutions. I think Simon was reinforcing in the timeout how to create distance between the one who is inbound the ball, the first pass, and the second receiver, to be sure that they can create crosses. Exactly what they were doing in the first quarter, but now with a press defense.
I thought for a minute that Cardiff were going to not even put pressure on, just to throw them, having spent a timeout about it, but they have pressured down court. And it's Hope who just gets over the halfway line in time there.
Yeah, they keep the defense. They change the idea. Now they have 2 players just in the front court, with 3 bigs in the defense court. So let's see how Worcester can react to that. And now very good man out, attacking in advantage.
And it's Evans trying to take that advantage. She was part of the tandem that blocked Bell down court to give them the numbers. And she's going to get a chance to profit from the free throw line as a result of that work. Well, as soon as it left her hand, I don't think she was too impressed. You could see, at least you can see the funny side of it.
Yeah, sometimes when you are pressing and you are putting a lot of energy on defense, it's hard for you to go to the free throw open shot. And the second one went in. So.
Well, she'll feel a lot better about that second one.
Good job by Kayla.
Nice
good
pass.
pass.
Horn underneath, and Worcester finally on the board. Their first score of the second half. And it's only a 1-point game.
They break the press very good with 2 passes and crosses, and finally Nifa open layup.
Well, Morrow on the floor, and Evans doing the wise thing of dribbling right to her. The referees will only stop the game if you're somewhere in the vicinity of the ball, so they wanted the game stopped. So Evans made sure that the whistle blew.
Exactly, in the first half, Dia was in the floor, but just because Cardiff was on defense, the referees don't need to stop it. But now they are on offense, so if the the offense team asks for stop the game, they allow the players to strap on in the game and be ready to keep on the court.
Well, Morrow is back in action, and it's Cardiff's ball once again. Here's Morrow. Nearly a 3-point play, but she will go to the line for 2. Relatively quiet game for Katie Morrow. We've seen her explode for some big numbers this season.
Yeah, she did a very good job in the game they played against Loughborough a couple of weeks ago. She was scoring, very easy. Now she's doing a good job on defense, and she has a very good shooting technique, as you can see. So.
Second one bobbles off. Final minute of the third quarter. Very low scoring third quarter, but still very much in the balance. That one's in the front court to Horan just again in time. There's been a few where they've been close to the 8-second violation, as well as the one that went against them. Now the shot clock being counted down. Well, that's hit the rim. I don't think it was a shot. I think it was a pass. But it hit the rim, which is all that matters. The referees are going to talk this over as to who that came off. I'm not sure whether Horan was shooting this. It looked like she was passing, but maybe it wasn't.
It was very, we can call it pass shot.
Yeah. It's going to be a Worcester ball. Half a minute left in this first half, so third quarter, sorry. So probably one offense each, given the 14-second shot clock. Here's Horan. Rebound by Hope. Oh, too strong from Sarah Hope, though. Well, the shot clock was on momentarily. It didn't need to be. It's gone off now. They can take the final. Oh, it's thrown away. Is there time to get down court? It's going to have to be quick. Atkin doesn't get the three-point shot off in time, but a very different third quarter to what we saw in the previous 20 minutes. Just 8 points between them, 6 of them to Cardiff, and really the biggest difference between the first half and the second so far is the way that Cardiff have defended their pressure down court. They've only forced 1 8-seconds, but there's been 3 or 4 other ones that have been very close, and what it's meant was on the occasions that Worcester did get into the half court, they're scrambling because the clock is ticking down. They haven't got much time to work with.
Absolutely, it's not just to try to create these 8 seconds situations. Also to be sure that when the team arrive on offense, they need to have not enough time to set the offense and to have to put on the court the plays they want to. So in the beginning they were playing very let's call it easy. Worcester arriving with Sarah Hope, fine, good spots, and also fresh after just need to push from the defense court to the offense court, but with no really one-on-one situation that she need to attack. And now they increase the contact. So Nif is doing a very good job, like 14 points in the game, and trying to taking a lot of responsibility in this situation. So good job from her. Well, we have one more quarter to go, and for sure they will show us a very good basketball.
I suppose the concern for Tom and Caroline, the coaching staff of Cardiff, is they had that dominant period in terms of how they defended, but they didn't make it show on the scoreboard because they haven't scored enough points either, and they're only up 2 going into the fourth quarter.
Exactly. Sometimes the feelings you have for outside, like we are doing a very good job, but in the end we are not scoring as fluent as we should. So let's see in this spot if they keep with this first defense or they switch to something else.
Well, as I say, reverse fixture went right down to the final few seconds, and we're very much on pace for more of the same here. Horan, there we go. She keeps her scoring touch going. She is 8 for 19 for 16 points.
Yeah, as we mentioned, very good job by Nif, scoring for outside and inside, taking this responsibility. Yes.
Travelling violation called against Evans with the extra push of the wheel. And if you're new to the game, the travelling violation in wheelchair basketball is about the pushing of the wheels per the bounce. Fraser onto Horan. Hope, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Slightly rushed shot there from Sarah Hope because of the pressure of the clock. Hope did get a hand on that to deflect it away. Tied at 33 with 9 to play in the game. Morrow on the baseline. Up top to Evans. Round it goes to Atkin. A great shot from Jade Atkin. 18 points for her now.
Now Worcester is breaking the press. Much better as that they did in the third quarter.
Hope going coast to coast for the score. Great play from Sarah Hope. Took matters into her own hands there.
Yeah, Kayla on the low point there did a very good job to try to get these advantages in transition.
Morrow harassed by Bell. Inside it goes to Atkins. Hands either side of her. And a good box out and rebound from Hope. Fraser out in front, got to get across mid-court. Doesn't get there in time. And another 8-second violation against the Wolves. All in the front court here for Evans and Cardiff, so they only get 14 seconds to work with. Evans fires up the three, not too far off the mark.
Again, Sarah Hope with the ball, coast to coast.
Finds Lachlan, who gets fouled by Morrow going to the rim, and Jade Lachlan will shoot two.
Yeah, now Worcester asks for a faster lineup, smaller, but maybe it's easier for them to try to break the press. And let's see if Cardiff, if they keep with the same kind of defense, or they adjust as well.
That's the interesting question here, isn't it? Because as you say, in this fourth quarter, they've just found a little bit more speed, a little bit more gaps in transition. And the question now, as this timeout is called by Cardiff, is whether they change what has been working in the second half, or whether they keep that pressure on against this slightly smaller unit and take the risk that you might give up some transition points.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, because Worcester have a quicker team. They can cross and they can play. They can create this off-ball work that they've been doing very good in the first half, but now in transition. So that's why in the last couple of offenses they score easily, or they have more advantages. And now Cardiff need to adjust, I think, a little bit there. Where the players are going to be defending, they're going to be defending front or low, depending on who is on court.
The last action before the timeout was the foul. So Jade Lachlan with a chance to break the 35-point tie here. Second one short. Oh, the rebound almost came out to her. But a ricochet sees Cardiff come away with the ball. Here's Evans. Forced out wide. Good defense from Toes. Quickly moved on to Morrow. Oh, that's a tough shot with Lachlan waving in her face.
Cardiff keeps with the same kind of defense, keep impress.
Little pick and roll.
Very good pick and roll.
Oh, down as
Good
well.
pass and good pick and roll.
Yeah, everything but the finish there from just out as well. Evans tomorrow off the mark.
Good press.
Stolen away. Well, it'll be an 8-second
8 seconds violation again.
I think Cardiff would have happily taken a continuation there because they had the ball and numbers. But as they hadn't got their hands on the ball, it's still technically in possession of Worcester, and therefore once it gets to 8 seconds, the referees call the violation. Nice pass. Toniazzi at the second attempt is able to score.
Cardiff is doing very good this inbound from the end line. They're doing the same play every single time with this double screen, and they are scoring very easy.
Hope, nice pass. Toes off the glass is good for 2.
Very difficult shot in front of Jade Atkins, and yeah, good shot.
That's a 1-pointer. Getting a bucket in the key. Important bucket as well for the Wolves. But reply at the other end from Jade Atkin. It's up to 20 now. 20 points and 12 rebounds. Dowdeswell under all sorts of pressure. Needs some help. Throws it forward. Lachlan quickly over midcourt just in time. And they've got numbers here again with Toes driving in. Not quite back to back. I couldn't quite see. The referee was blocking the vision, but it will be a Wolves ball.
It's interesting to see the communication they have inside between players in both teams. Sarah Hope was saying before that they need to cross and create this transition, and now Leah and Jade were talking about what they're going to do on offense next time.
Well, here is Evans on offense. It's a difficult shot from Atkin. It's off the mark, and they will let that go out of bounds. But that also allows Cardiff to set up this press.
Yeah, it's getting closer to the key moment for Worcester.
It's a backcourt violation, surely. Yeah, it was a late whistle. It just came off the chair of Dowdeswell and went into the backcourt. And once you cross the halfway line, you're not allowed to go back. Hope with the rebound. Well, Morrow is down, so it's 5-on-4 here if they can take advantage. Lachlan into the key under all sorts of pressure. Oh, not quite, but an offensive rebound in there from Dowdeswell. Morrow with the quick outlet to Evans, who uses her body well. Oh, but it's off the mark.
That's a very good pass for a very good rebound by Katie Morrow.
Dowdeswell is fouled by Atkin. Well, 3:36 still to go in a 4-point game. And Coach Fisher is calling his last time out just to talk things over. His team is down 4. Obviously, you normally like to try and keep one for the end of the game in case you need to advance the ball or drop a play or whatever. But he's obviously rolling the dice here, going, we're down 4. We need to get ourselves back in a low-scoring game. 4 points feels like a lot. Got to get back now.
Exactly, and like you can think about the last minutes, but now is the key of the game. They are 4 down and they are receiving press defense every single time, so it's important how they set up the offense and how they organize, because now if Cardiff score, the next offense is going to be hard for them to try to lead with this defense and try to speed up the game, because basically this kind of press defense, what make you is like playing offense slower. So 5-6 points are going to be a long way for Worcester.
Well, nobody has actually led the game by 6 points yet, which is sort of the context of all of that. The biggest lead was 5 points for Worcester. That was in the early stages of the game. Cardiff have never had a lead bigger than 4 points. Well, Jade Loughlin will come to right in front of us to inbound here with 3:36 to go. Her team trailing by 4. They've got 17 seconds to work with. Oh, that's an excellent play out of a timeout for 2 points for Sarah Hope.
And now Worcester is pressing as well. So both teams are pressing each other.
Whoa. And they forced it. Oh, have they forced the turnover? It's just out of the reach of Hope. And Atkin trying to take full advantage. Well, that almost worked to perfection for Coach Fisher out of the timeout. They got the 2 points. They nearly forced the turnover, but Atkin was live to it.
Yeah, it's interesting to see now both teams pressing each other and see who is able to create more of ball game to try to get enough advantage in offense to score easy.
Well, the physicality has certainly upped. It's been quite physical all game, but you can feel it out there now. Dowdeswell's had that knocked away by Atkins, so it's a sideline ball, end line ball even. 7 on the shot clock. Horan's in an awkward spot. Into Loughlin, who does well just to catch it. Oh, there's a foul just before. Oh, the basketball counts as well. Well, I'm not sure about that. The basket is good. It seemed to me like the shot was after the buzzer, but the basket's been given. So there's a foul in there. I must admit, I thought the buzzer went first, but it's been given. That's what matters. And the three-point play is converted by Jade Loughlin. And with 2:38 to go, it's a 1-point game once again.
Now it's interesting to see how mentally strong they are, both teams. Cardiff receiving this and one basket with 3 points in the last play, and how Worcester is able to keep working on offense even they receive this last basket.
Evans is able to stretch the lead back to 3. Well, this one could come down to who scores last. Hope looking down court. Oh, well read by Morrow. Comes up with a big steal. And Hope, rather aggressively trying to atone for the error, is called for the foul. Morrow squares up, fires up, gets a friendly bounce. And Cardiff have their biggest lead of the game with 2 minutes to play. Well, we're getting close to must score sort of time here for Worcester. Hope needs some help. She's trapped at the halfway line. She gets it from Horan into Dowd as well. Great hands to bat that one out of bounds. It's still going to stay with the Wolves though, with 7 on the shot clock. And Tony Ozzie just playing some super defense. Lachlan late in the shot clock. Knocks it down as the horn sounds.
Very good by Jade, taking the responsibility in the last 2 minutes. 5 points in the last 1 minute and a half, final run. So yeah, it's very important to see this, taking this responsibility and this character.
Hope committing the foul, her third. They're not over the limit yet, so it's still possession. Morrow down to Atkin. Atkin along the baseline, crowded out by Hope. Gets the shot away and knocks it down. What a shot from Jade Atkin. 24 points now for her.
Oh, very good fade away. Very difficult shot to score. And again, yet
offensive foul, the call. That basket will not count. The charge called on the pass. And that could be a decisive play here. Cardiff up 5 with a minute to go. If they can get a score, that might be all the daylight they need. Evans is in trouble here. Might be an 8-second violation.
Yeah.
It is going to be an 8-second violation. Well, just when you thought that offensive foul might cost Worcester, they've managed to force the turnover. Lachlan and Hope working together. Evans trying to deny Lachlan the baseline. Cross court, Horan misses everything. Morrow with the rebound. The quick outlet to Evans, will it get there? No, it won't. Down as well with the steal. And that's going to be a foul. Oh, 34 seconds to go. That's a massive defensive play by Dowd as well. But they must score here.
yeah, now Leah is defending very aggressive, yeah, because she took the responsibility in the last offenses. Now ball is in with Sarah Hope. It's a pity because it was a very good pick and roll.
Well, they've knocked it loose again. Totes has come up with it again. Is there enough time to find 5 points? They need a quick score here. They can't hang about. Shot needs to go up. Horan trying to create room. Oh, it's a shot clock violation in the end. Thrown back to Hope, and that is the end of all hope for Worcester winning this ball game with just a few ticks left on the clock. Cardiff don't even need to advance the ball into them. Oh, it's stolen away again by Lachlan. There's not going to be enough time, but they might get one last score if Dowd as well can get it up. That will do it. A dramatic game of wheelchair basketball here at the Archers Arena. Well, it really was a physical game. Two teams giving and asking no quarter, and in the end it was probably the emphasis that Archers put on defense in the second half that just edged them the victory here.
Yeah, it was impressive, like a very good defense in the in the third quarter, both teams, and I think the fourth quarter Worcester did a very good job breaking the press, organizing and working off ball, and Cardiff, the game plan I think was very effective. In the beginning a little bit more close defense, second half more pressing, and yeah, I think it was a very good last quarter with a high score as well.
Yeah, it ended up 16-13 in the final quarter. It was more back on to the sort of pace that we saw in the first half, and really it comes down to a few heady plays, and we saw in Worcester it was the Wolves who made the key plays in the last minute, 2 minutes of the game, and here in Cardiff it's gone the other way with Archers making the decisive plays. But if these two teams do meet again in the playoffs. It promises to be a thrilling encounter because they've shown over the course of 80 minutes in 2 games they are very well evenly matched.
Yeah, it's a very good game for both teams. As you say, if they face each other in the playoff, it's going to be very interesting to see how they can learn from this game, how they can improve the press break, or how they can improve the defense for both teams. It's going to be interesting. The third one, the first one, I think from the first one to the second one, for sure they learn new things, and right now from the second one to the potentially third one, let's see how they develop.
Well, 24 points and 12 rebounds, 4 assists as well for Jade Atkins. She by far and away the leading scorer for the Archers. It was 2 main scorers at the other end. Another great day at the office for Sarah Hope with 14 points, 19 rebounds as well. But Niamh Horan, particularly in the first half, really found her shooting touch with 16 points, and well, some key scores from Katie Morrow, including this one late on. Didn't quite have her most efficient scoring game, but certainly made some key buckets down the stretch. And this is what it's done for the standings in the BWB Women's Premier League. It means that the Archers give themselves a 2-game cushion, going to finish in 3rd and 4th. Those 2 teams, Loughborough and East London, at the top end of it, but a good win for Cardiff at home, and certainly one that their fans have enjoyed here. And don't forget, all of the remaining games in the regular season are on BBC Sport, starting tomorrow in Loughborough, East London in town. I'm sure that will be a great game, so make sure you tune in for that. We'll be back here next Saturday, Cardiff taking on East London, and the final game of the regular season, the Worcester Wolves and the Loughborough Lightning going head to head at the University of Worcester Arena before the playoffs. They'll come around soon enough, but a dramatic day of, or afternoon of, wheelchair basketball here at the Archers Arena, and it's finished 49 points to 44. Miguel, thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure, and if we don't see you before, good luck in the Worlds and the Europeans this summer.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you all, and yeah, and congratulations because I watch all the games, so congratulations for your commentary in all
Thank you very much. Well, we'll be back tomorrow in Loughborough, so do join us for that one. But for here, it's the Archers who are celebrating. They've beaten the Wolves 49-44. We'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.